The section of this piece with Melancholy is much more lyrical. Even though it's the same tempo, we get a sense of slowing by it being duple and not triple, not being compound. However, we want to make sure that we still add room for musicality, speeding up and slowing down. If you look right before the 3/4, we have a dotted quarter and a dotted quarter rest. That dotted quarter rest can elongate a little bit just to give us time to switch into the next section. It does not need to be very metronomical because then the musicality from the very beginning is destroyed. One thing that I want you to think about is changing your tone to be a singing, more sweeter tone through this section, not so harsh, not so angular. One way I get my students to approach a section like this musically is I have them put their metronome on quarter note equals 72, which is a tempo, and then I have them take out all the note values, every single note value, every note in this section the first time you play it, working this way. I want every beat to be a note change. So for instance, what I'm doing, I'm putting in the articulations, and I'm also doing the dynamics. This really helps isolate articulation and dynamics. The second time, put the metronome on 72, and I want you to be very metronomically accurate. But this time you can add more dynamics, and you can also add vibrato and tone color if you want. And then the third time through, I want you to really put the metronome away, and I want you to really try to stretch and pull notes that are important. If you did the very first exercise through with just equal note values, important notes will stick out regardless of their note value. That way you should be able to find exactly the way you want to play this section musically. Also, another thing you can do is really overemphasize what you're trying to do musically. Either dynamics, tempo, stretching, or pulling, for instance. That way, my students can know where the limit is of being ridiculous and then pull it back to being really musical. A lot of my students, if they do it the other way, they start very minimally and then try to add musicality. They don't go far enough. So go crazy and then pull it back.